Hi, Henk Akkermans here. Supply Chain Dynamics, Chapter 5, Sysdea Gameplay 4. Uh, Customer Demand. Customer demand in this model is a combination of a number of factors. First of all, there's a real customer demand, which sort of corresponds with the historical demand in the semiconductor sector in the period 1999, 2001, 2000, 2001, 2002. So this model starts somewhere. Month zero is the beginning of 1999, and over the course of 1999, there's a peak in demand, the wonderful year of 2000. Then in 2001, at the beginning, the demand drops dramatically, and then it goes up again. Pretty much the test signal that we had in Chapter 4 also, but then amplified because this is about machine orders. Now, the real customer demand is an element in the customer demand. There you see it. Only there are two other factors that are also included. There's also the need to adjust for the customer backlog. And after a certain period of time, there's also the need to reduce the demand by excess shipments. Customer backlog adjustment, on top of the real customer demand, there are two independent effects. Although independent, they are interrelated. On the one hand, there's the very rational logic that when you find out that actually stuff takes longer to get to you, then you need more of it coming to you. So if normally you would expect that the lead time of something is 6 periods, if you now find out it's actually 12, then what you want in that pipeline is twice as much. And that's what's happening here in desired channel backlog. You multiply by the customer lead time expectation. So normally, a steady state, suppose you want 4 every period, that's your real customer demand. Your lead time is 6, then you would expect that the channel backlog is 24. If it's less, if it's more, then you adjust. And in this case, the customer lead time expectation is a complex beast that we'll look in later. But at least that is the perception of the customer that is multiplied by the real customer demand. And on top of that, there is an effect of shortage gaming, the phenomenon that when you expect that you and your supplier are asking more of you and your customer, your competitor are asking more of your supplier than the supplier has capacity to deal with, that you really ask more than you really need, simply to make sure that if the supplier allocates shipments proportionally to customer demand, that you get what you need. So that's the shortage gaming multiplier, which is also included in this. So you have the normal real-time demand, you have the rational ordering ahead notion. When there's a longer lead time, you need to order longer ahead, and there's a real speculative behavior routine of shortage gaming. And all these then lead to a desired channel backlog, and the desired channel backlog is of course adjust for the real order backlog. And if there's a gap between those, then the time to adjust the backlog is taken to influence customer demand. So you see the customer demand becomes much more peaked up here, as you can also see in the backlog adjustment. Then excess shipments. For a long time, the customers are therefore, because of these phenomena, asking more shipments than they really need given their real customer demand. And that means that you see here demands of 40 in a certain period, whereas in the reality, they never needed more than 12. So that bubble, that demand bubble, bursts at a certain point. When does it burst in this model? It bursts at the moment when the real demand, the cumulative demand, when that number becomes smaller than what has actually been received in shipments. At that point in time, the customers say, okay, I now have what I wanted in the end. I now no longer need to inflate my orders. I no longer need to order ahead. I can simply place my real demand, and that means that customer demand then dramatically drops. So this place, the moment that the cumulative shipments are greater than the cumulative demand, then that's when this becomes active, which you can also see here. So the maximum of either the difference between those two or zero, I've neatly called the minimum excess demand. That's how customer demand works. So a combination of the real demand, some channel orders, some ordering ahead, some speculative gaming, and a correction once the bubble burst for basically cancellations.